Lights on, cameras rolling, and the arena is already shaking. Tonight feels different. On one wing, you've got Austin Reaves, locked in and ready to punish any defender who dares to help off him. On the other side, the king himself, LeBron James, scanning the floor like a quarterback who's seen every coverage in the book. And right in the middle of it all, Luka Doncic, casually walking the ball up the floor with that relaxed smile that says he already knows how this game ends. Just a few games into this stretch together, and it's crystal clear. When these three start cooking at the same time, opposing defenses run out of answers fast. One possession, it's Luka snaking out of a high pick and roll, pulling in two defenders and firing a laser to the corner for a wide-open Reaves three. The next trip, LeBron uses that powerful frame to bulldoze into the paint, draws the entire back line of the defense, then kicks it out to Luka for a rhythm jumper. It's not just superstar talent, it's chemistry, timing, and trust. Whoever gets the best look takes the shot. No ego, no hesitation. And the scary part? After the game, they're still sitting in the locker room saying, game by game, we've got a lot of improvement left. If this is what the unfinished version looks like, imagine the problem there'll be once everything fully clicks.
From the very first few possessions, Luka made it clear whose hands this game would live in. Off that opening high screen, he reads the big sitting in drop coverage, takes two calm dribbles into the gap, and lifts up for a soft floater that barely touches the rim on its way down. Next time down, they switch the screen, and Luka immediately goes to work. He backs the smaller defender down to the right block, feels the contact, sells a shoulder fake, spins baseline, hangs in the air, and still finishes through the bump as the whistle blows. Within minutes, he's already in double figures, walking back on defense with that look that says, "You're not stopping this tonight." Then he starts probing, picking apart every small mistake. Head always up, he drives hard to the middle just to draw in the weak side help, then snaps a one-handed skip pass to the opposite corner, right into his shooter's pocket for an in-rhythm three. On the very next possession, he reads the defense overplaying the pass, stops on a dime at the free throw line, and calmly drills a step-back jumper instead. Luka isn't just making shots, he's setting the entire tempo of the game, deciding when to slow it down, when to speed it up, and when to deliver a dagger. And if you enjoy this kind of detailed breakdown and highlight storytelling, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts on this trio, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Scoring gets the headlines, but tonight, Luka's passing was pure wizardry. He comes off a high ball screen, two defenders jump at him to get the ball out of his hands, and in one motion, he slips a bounce pass right between their legs to a rolling big for a thunderous dunk. A possession later, he knows the low man is late on the help, so he drives just far enough to force a decision, leaves his feet like he's going to shoot, and instead slings a no-look dart to the weak side corner. The defender swipes at thin air as the ball whistles past his ear and lands perfectly in his man's shooting pocket. Shot goes up, net barely moves. It doesn't stop in transition either. Luka pokes the ball loose, scoops it up, and before anyone even realizes it's a turnover, he's already leading the break with his eyes up. One dribble past half court, and he throws a perfectly timed lob to a teammate sprinting down the middle, turning a simple steal into instant showtime. Even in the half court, he's improvising, posting at the elbow, back to the basket, feeling the double team coming. Instead of forcing a tough shot, he spins into traffic and somehow flicks a blind, over-the-head pass to a cutter sneaking along the baseline for an easy layup. These aren't lucky plays. This is a playmaker who sees the floor one step ahead of everyone else. When Luka decides it's time to score, he opens up an arsenal that looks straight out of a video game. He gets a switch he likes, takes a slow, rhythmic dribble backward, and you already know what's coming. Rocker step, little hesitation, then that signature step-back three. The defender is right there with a hand up. The contest is as good as it can be, but the ball arcs high and drops straight through. Luka backpedals, shaking his head and smiling as the crowd starts to realize they're watching something special. Then he starts mixing in everything else. Attack the big off the dribble, stop on a dime at the elbow, fade away off one leg with perfect balance and soft touch. Drive into the body of a shot blocker, absorb contact, and still flip the ball off the glass for the and one. You put a smaller guard on him, and he drags him into the post. You throw a bigger defender his way, and he pulls them out to the perimeter to dance. Step-throughs, floaters, mid-range fades, deep threes off the bounce, it's all there. Tonight, every move felt like an answer to whatever coverage the defense tried to throw at him. The real nightmare for opponents is that Luka isn't doing this on an island. LeBron and Reaves turn his strengths into something even more dangerous. One possession starts with LeBron bringing the ball up, Luka sliding into a quick screen, and suddenly the defense has a dilemma. Switch and let Luka bully a mismatch, or stay home and let LeBron barrel downhill to the rim. They switch. Luka gets the smaller man, backs him down, draws a help defender, and kicks it out to Reaves, who is waiting on the wing to cash in another three. It looks simple, but it's the product of trust and perfect spacing. Reaves, for his part, is the perfect connector. When Luka drives, Reaves is constantly relocating, cutting back door when his man turns his head, drifting to the open spot when the defense loads up on the strong side. Luka finds him on those little back cuts with slick bounce passes, and Reaves finishes soft at the rim. When it's LeBron's turn to initiate, Luka slides off the ball, ready to spot up or attack a rotating defender off the catch. Each of them can handle, pass, and shoot, so there's no wasted movement, no possessions where someone's just standing and watching. When these three are synced up like tonight, the offense doesn't feel scripted, it feels inevitable. Another gear kicks in when this squad decides to run. A long rebound bounces out to Luka, and instantly everyone starts sprinting their lanes. He's not the fastest guy on the court, but his mind is moving at top speed. Head up, one look to the right wing to freeze the defender, then a perfectly weighted lead pass straight down the middle for his big to hammer home. 2 points in 3 seconds, crowd on its feet, and the other team is forced into a timeout just to catch their breath. Even off made baskets, they can turn on the jets. LeBron inbounds quickly to Luka, then takes off down the floor like he's still 25. Luka pushes with purpose, uses a quick drag screen just across half court, and now the defense is off balance. The corner shooter is spotted up, the roll man is diving, and LeBron is trailing with a full head of steam. Luka drives, reads the rotating defender, and at the last second flips it behind his back to a teammate cutting in from the baseline for another emphatic dunk. It's controlled chaos. They're not just playing fast for the sake of it, they're playing fast and smart, punishing every slow rotation and every bad shot from their opponent. All the skill and finesse would mean a lot less if Luka shied away from physicality. Tonight, he embraced it. He attacks the rim like he's daring the bigs to meet him there, going straight into their chest, taking the hit, and still finding a way to guide the ball softly off the glass. The whistle blows, the ball drops through, and he walks to the line with a smirk that says, "You're going to have to foul harder than that." Those and one finishes don't just add points, they deflate an already tired defense. Even when he doesn't get the call, he refuses to quit on the play. There's a possession where he drives, gets bumped with no whistle, misses the first attempt, but immediately tips the ball back to himself, fights through a crowd of arms, and finally lays it in on the second try. You can see the frustration on defenders' faces. They think the possession is over, but for Luka, it isn't finished until the scoreboard moves. On the other end, he battles on the boards, digs down on post-ups, and jumps passing lanes when they get lazy. That competitive edge, that willingness to take hits and keep coming, is what turns highlight numbers into winning basketball. Every truly elite scorer has a moment in the game where you can feel momentum tilt in their favor. For Luka, that moment usually comes from way behind the three-point line. Late in the third quarter, shot clock bleeding out, he's dribbling near the logo with a defender crowding him. He gives a casual between-the-legs dribble, takes one big step back into absurd range, and just rises up. The arena holds its breath as the ball hangs in the air before snapping through the net. The crowd explodes, and Luka just walks back on defense, checking his hand like it's still hot. Then it's money time.
Fourth quarter, game tightening up, and the other team puts their best defender on him, trying to bump him, talk to him, get in his head. Luka doesn't blink. He takes a high screen, rejects it, crosses back the other way, uses his body to shield the ball, and pulls up for a mid-range jumper with a hand in his face. Bucket. Next possession, they send a second defender early, and he calmly splits the double, gets into the paint, and hits a floater right over the help. When they overcommit, he makes the right read and kicks to an open teammate for a clean look. It's not just about hitting tough shots, it's about wanting the responsibility of every big possession and delivering when it matters.
When the final buzzer sounds and you glance at the box score, Luka's numbers almost don't look real. Points piled up, assists in double digits, rebounds stacked, efficiency solid from every level of the floor. Add in LeBron's all-around impact and Reaves' timely buckets and smart play, and you've got a stat sheet that screams dominance. But if you actually watch the game, you know the numbers still don't tell the whole story of how completely they controlled it. Every key stretch seemed to run through that trio. A Luka pick and roll here, a LeBron post up there, a Reaves drive to punish an overzealous closeout. Role players filled their lanes, knocked down open shots, crashed the glass, and defended with energy because they knew good things would happen if they just did their jobs. You can see the outline of something bigger taking shape, a system where Luka's shot-making and playmaking, LeBron's leadership and versatility, and Reaves' fearlessness and feel for the game all mesh into one dangerous identity. It's not a finished product yet. There are still defensive lapses and stretches where the offense stalls, but the ceiling you see on nights like this, that's the ceiling of a true contender.
So how dangerous can this squad really be when Luka, LeBron, and Reaves are all firing like they were tonight? The honest answer? There are very few teams in the league that can match this combination of skill, IQ, and versatility over a 7-game series. Luka orchestrating pick and rolls, LeBron punishing mismatches and leading in crunch time, Reaves spacing the floor and attacking any sloppy rotation, it's a matchup nightmare. Add in bigs who finish everything around the rim and shooters who stay ready on the perimeter, and you've got an offense that can beat you in more ways than you can prepare for. What makes it truly scary is that they're still talking about going game by game, still focused on building habits, still hungry to improve rather than satisfied with the highlights. That means better chemistry with every rep, cleaner defensive rotations, sharper late-game execution, and an even deeper understanding of where everyone likes to operate. Nights like this send a message to the rest of the league. This isn't just a fun highlight team. This is a real problem. And if you want to keep riding with us through every big performance, every breakdown, and every epic showdown, make sure you like this video, drop a comment sharing your thoughts on how far this trio can go, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what comes next.